Live. We should be live. Just push it out there. Push out the live. And then we're live. And it's the Wild West. Welcome back to a Tech Yes City live stream. Hope you're all doing well, whichever corner of the world you're at. Today we've got a big one. We're talking about the 6700 XT. It's launched out into the wild. We've got AMD's official statement before it came out. So we're going to analyze this on the live for you guys. So make sure you hit and let us know in chat that you're feeling me. Hopefully, just got to let everything go normal. So, like, I turned on slow mode this time. So you guys were requesting that we do slow mo, and that way it stops people spamming mushrooms in chat. So hopefully we don't have a continuance of mushrooms and hearts in chat getting spammed. I mean, the hearts is okay. You guys can spam the hearts in chat, but just keep it's once every 3 seconds now. So, is it a premiere? No, this is a live stream. I can chat with you. You guys ask questions. I'm seeing them. I'm chatting. Don't worry. This isn't a premiere. Premiere is where I've made the video and just like, I don't know. It's fun to interact, especially like on a 6700 XT launch. Usually on, I think from here on in on the channel, I'm going to be doing like product launches with premieres, like CPU and GPU launches. We'll do that with Premiere. That way we can discuss what's going on while we're watching that video. But this is a live stream. This is a live stream. So join in chat, have a bit of fun, relax. And we'll answer this first question quickly before we get onto the video. And that is a 3060 for 800 a good deal? Is that 800 US or 800 Aussie? At the moment in Australia, 800 Aussie isn't that bad for a 3060. I mean, judging from all the other pricing I'm seeing out here, $1,500 for a 3070, it's not too bad. But the problem is that we'll talk about this a bit later with that 3060 pricing and what happened, right? This is what happened, but we'll get onto the 6700 XT first, where we'll read out what AMD said here. So this is the official statement I got before it launched. So AMD they hear and understand the frustration from gamers right now due to the unexpectedly strong global demand for graphics cards. Let's be honest, we can just take this first sentence and say, due to crypto miners, graphics card supply is completely messed up right now, or demand for graphics card supply is completely messed up right now. And the supply is, of course, a pretty consistent thing. And with the AMD Radeon 6700 XT launch, we are on track. Now, we're going to, like, these words here, like, we're going to point out some of these words, typical marketing stuff, like, we are on track to have significantly more GPUs available for sale at launch. So you can just say, look, we're going to address as much as we can the supply issue. We're just going to keep pumping out cards, but we continue to take additional steps to address the demand we see from the community. We're also, and there's this next sentence here, like, how are you doing that? We continue to take additional steps. Like, what steps? That's the thing right there. What steps are we taking here? Because at the moment, it's like literally, and as people pointed out, the thumbnail, it's the Wild West out here for graphics cards. Literally the Wild West. And we are also refreshing stock of both AMD Radeon RX 6000 series graphics cards and AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors on AMD.com on a weekly basis, giving gamers enthusiasts a direct option to purchase the latest Ryzen CPUs and Radeon GPUs at the suggested e-tail and retail price. So I will admit, this last thing here, what they're doing is good, right? They got their own website and they're saying, look, these are our MSRPs, or now they're calling them suggested e-tail prices. We're giving the public these prices that we promised on our website. So that's one good thing that's come out of this statement, but they should at least give us some realistic stock levels, because what I heard with Australia, and we'll go look at the realism, like the Wild West of this situation, right? We'll pull down this statement right here. And straight away, we got an image. I pulled this from the forum, right? Pulled this image straight from the forum. I was on a Facebook forum, and someone just went to Microcenter and took a picture of the graphics card prices, and you see there, like if we zoom in there, 480 USD for the reference models. Now my reply to the dude was, go get those 480s ASAP, bro. They're gonna be gone. Like, before, I'm sure straight after he put the phone down after taking the picture, someone else was already ordering those 2 reference models, because they would have been gone, because immediately next to it is the overpriced Mech. It's not even the Mech OC from what I can see here. It's just the Mech. And it's going for $756 as advertised. And then immediately above that, we've got the Tough going for $800 US. That's right, a 6700 XT is more than an RTX 3080. So they should also just put a picture of a horse on the top left here and just say, welcome to the Wild West, folks. Here is your graphics card. And then we got the mech over here, another mech. I'm guessing this is the mech OC, yeah, OC edition, $775. So as if the 755 wasn't enough, cop off another $20 for the OC on an already $300 over the MSRP. So that is what's going on right here. All these custom models are coming in at just straight. If we go to the top shelf, it's now 800 plus. Power Color, $830 as advertised. Asus ROG, $820 for a 6700 XT. Something that performs a little bit better than a 3060 Ti. And also Ziv Zoolander, thanks for the $3 dono. We are on track, don't worry guys. I hear you guys with this GPU stuff. So what I really want, we're gonna go back to this statement right here. We'll look at the Aussie pricing too, because that shows an even more interesting picture. But we'll go back to this statement here. What I want AMD to do is to address this right here. This in one picture, address this right here. What is going on? Why is it $480 for a reference model, which is fairly priced, it's good, but then you've got this right beside it, $300 more. Please address, like, this is the answer we need, not we are on track. Yeah, I mean, I can see you guys are on track, but what about the partners that you're selling these these nodes to, like these GPU die? What about those guys? Are they on track to rip people off? That's what I think we all want to know. Are they on track to fleece the public? That's what we're gonna know. That's what I just want to know. Address this. What is going on here? Because I'm pretty sure I've got a good understanding of what is going on, and that is that there's the distributors and whatever networks and how they run things, they've just decided to jack up all the prices. And from what I can tell, well, like a lot of these guys are in on it. Not gonna make any names, but so there it is. On track, fellas, on track. But let's move over to Newegg now. Here we can see the reality of this. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. Even the overpriced stuff is out of stock. $800. Asus TUF 6700 XT. Out of stock. That's XFX. Wow. XFX didn't like blatantly rip people off. That's actually pretty cool. Good stuff, XFX. They're like the only brand that didn't pull a quick one. And ASRock too. Good stuff, ASRock. There's a challenger there, but it's out of stock. Does these prices even mean anything when they're all out of stock? I mean, yeah. I like confirmed SK's comment there. So the AIBs are drinking champagne right now. They cannot hear you guys. They cannot hear you. So there's the out of stock situation. So the reference cards are coming in, and I gotta say the reference card, I'm doing the review tomorrow. Like that'll be dropping on the channel tomorrow, but I wanted to wait before I did one of these 6700 XTs just to get the real picture out here and what's going on. But yeah, the reference card, for what it's worth, it's at 480 USD in this current climate. If you can get one, go get one ASAP. It's a good buy at that price. But yeah, $800, no way. I wouldn't pay 800 USD for a 6700 XT. It's like, that's coming in more expensive than a 2080 Super. Shouldn't the rules of tech, I mean, shouldn't the rules state that as time goes on, we get more price performance, not less? But anyway, I mean, and it's supposedly inflation's not that bad. But we'll move on to the Aussie pricing, but we'll get a quick word from our sponsors here. We got the Elgato Wave 3, now become Amazon's choice. That's right, Amazon has decided this Microsoft microphone, because you're probably using it on Windows 10, is the choice. So $146, great condenser mic, and really like this one. And then we got SCD keys, and here's the thing, I was gonna tell you guys about these CD keys. These are getting cheaper by the day. These CD keys right here, like you're looking at the price, you're like, Brian, the price is staying the same, but not if you think about the inflation. If the inflation keeps going up, these keys are getting cheaper by the day, and you can use a BFTYC code there and you can lock that in and get it for 12 bucks. So $12 US, get your Windows 10 activated. None of these keys get deactivated, and they're good to go. So I'll put the links for both the sponsors in the description below. Let's get back here to the pricing right now and what's unfolded in Australia. So this is a retailer called Umart. They're one of the biggest in Australia. They've just got out of stock across the board. Who knows if they even got any in, because I spoke to some retailers locally here on the 6700 XTs, and they were telling me, yeah, we don't even know the price. Like, they couldn't even get a pricing list, meaning that there was no stock for the 6700 XTs in Australia, except for PC case gear. And they're out, like, lo and behold, they're out of stock for all the reference cards. At 709 Aussie dollars, if someone actually got one of those for that price, that's really good. So that's good, but sold out. And I went on last night on launch. These things were instantly sold out, except this right here. Lo and behold, there's the mech. There's our little friend, the MSI Mech OC, coming up for 1,080 Aussie dollars, and that's still in stock. This one right here, another MSI one, 1,130 Aussie dollars. There's a Sapphire Pulse, 1,000 bucks. So, I mean, I'm just waiting for one of these guys. What I really want to see is one of these. There's the one I reviewed, man. $1,250 Aussie. Oh, man. Don't buy it at this price. Do not buy this card at 1,249 Aussie dollars. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, just jump in the video and jump in with a chance on the giveaway. But we got here Michael Shelby, a $2 dono. Thanks, brother. I was the first loser at Microcenter today. Oh, man, that would, like, so you got in there, you saw someone else taking out a graphics card, and they got a reference card for 480. That would sting a little bit, my man. I do feel for you there. Then we got Mexi Man and Cheese. I was able to grab a 3060 Ti at MSRP on launch day. I feel like a JA for being disappointed I could not get the 3080. Anyway, love your channel. You shouldn't be disappointed at all, brother. You got a getting any 3060 Ti, 3070 or 3080 at MSRP is an absolute victory. Even getting the 3090 at MSRP was a victory, believe it or not. The overpriced 3090, now that's even more overpriced. So there we go. And Designs by IFR, my man is in chat. What's going on, Corey? How you doing, brother? He built up Synthetic Sewer. That was a custom build that we did, and my man is bringing the custom PCs to you guys, and he does some great work. But I mean, even he's probably starting to feel the sting. He's like, wouldn't mind getting a GPU for doing a custom. No, actually, guys, today we're just gonna do a how you can build up a water cooling build. Anyway, you can go down here. Like, last thing I gotta say about PC case gear is this looks actually pretty good. I checked the website. The Gamers Bundle here actually looks decent. You can get the motherboard, a 5600X, the B550 Aorus Pro, and the reference 6700 XT for $14.44.9. So if you're building a new PC, this isn't too bad, and that's in stock. But I mean, obviously they're probably reserving these graphics cards because they want to sell motherboards and CPUs, which does point towards the demand for the other products in the tech scene being much less in demand than graphics cards. So graphics cards, I'm guessing graphics cards are getting to the point where they're starting to distort the actual demand for things like CPUs, DDR4 memory, and SSDs. So there it is right there. That's what's going on with this graphics card pricing situation now. And yeah, check back later. It's out of stock. You guys are saying it in the comments. So Pierre plays, hello Tech City, it's Gear Seekers. Oh, drunk. How you doing, dude? Welcome to the live stream. Next part of news is we got to talk about this, dude. Like, this is going to segue into the RTX 3060, right? What we saw, and now don't make no mistake. We'll go to the big screen here. Make no mistake. This demand is all coming from crypto, all of it. Like, pretty much all this extra demand that you're seeing is coming from crypto, and it's coming in a big way. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Like, yes, initially there was that massive demand for 3080s, but that was because that was a hot product giving big gains over the previous generation. It was what people were really waiting for. But then as time went on, we saw the 3060 Ti's, 3070s just snapped up, and it was ridiculous, right? As miners started to catch on that, hey, I could make money by just buying a card, putting it into my computer and clicking play, they started to do that. That's what they started to do. So miners started to buy these cards up in droves and started to really distort the pricing of graphics cards. Now, we saw this, at least in Australia, I saw this. As soon as that hash rate limiter got unlocked with that accidental driver from NVIDIA, accident, with that driver, we saw the 3060s, the under 800 Aussie dollar 3060s all got sold out across the board. That happened within a day. And the reason that happened was now the crypto miners could mine for more money. That was worth their money at $770 for the, I think it was the PLY, is it? PNY 3060? PNY? Yeah, PNY 3060. So we saw that in stock. It's been in stock for a couple of weeks. And then sure enough, the mining limiter gets removed. It's out of stock. What more proof do we need that this is just a crypto bubble that's affecting the GPU prices? But speaking of what, this one's, I don't even know like what to look at this one here. So this one here is a bit of a funny one. So NVIDIA is releasing the CMP lineup. This is their graphics cards that miners want to get their hands on, right? Apparently. So I don't think, and guys, thanks for the questions too. We will get on to questions. We'll just get through these. We'll get onto these questions after we get these. There's just 2 articles, pretty easy. And I'll give you guys a cool solution coming up as well. But NVIDIA's released their CMP 30HX mining GPUs. Now, apparently they're just pretty much a 1660 Super. So like, honestly, who is gonna wanna buy this? This is my gut reaction is, who's gonna wanna buy this card at 723 bucks? Now, I know it's in Dubai. I think Dubai have higher prices on graphics cards than a lot of other people, but who in their right mind is going to want to buy a 30HX at around these prices? And even then, why would you buy it over a 1660 Super? Because when crypto goes bust, you can then sell the 1660 Super to gamers. You can't sell these 30HXs to anyone after crypto goes bust. This isn't gonna, like, I'm sorry, NVIDIA, you got to offer much better value on these CMP cards if this is what they're bringing. This is really not bringing any value to miners, at least from what I can see. The miners are just going to keep snapping up even the 3060s, and even the 6700 XTs, they'll snap them up over this. Because at 700 US, you can get 40-something mega hashes on the 6700 XT, as opposed to this, which apparently gets around 25, but I think it gets around 28 once you tune it. So the 30HX, the CMP lineup, it looks like it's totally useless right now. Yeah, that's what I mean. You guys in the comments, you guys understand that the mining hash rates on this thing is going to be totally useless to miners, and they're going to keep on buying up the gaming graphics cards. So, I mean, maybe the best thing NVIDIA can do is sort of just sell refurbs to the mining community, where like, hey guys, here's a card that's sort of like, it's not really fit for gaming, but we've lowered the clock speeds and the memory speeds, and we're going to give it to you at a big discount, and then they'll buy it up. Because miners really only care about one thing, and that's profit, make no mistake. So, yeah, I don't think any miner is going to be buying this thing up at these prices, and especially since the last time too. I think this is another catalyst going on, and the problem with these CMP launches in the lineup here is that, yeah, like Mark Smith, exactly. It's a CMP, 30X's future landfill material, exactly. I mean, maybe someone will melt it down for the metals on it, but that's about it. And after that, they'll just throw the PCB in the land and it'll become landfill. That's about it. So, anyway, what they learned from the last crypto bubble, which this has happened before, right? 2017, 2018, all over again. But what happened then was NVIDIA released a P106. Now, I think from last time, a lot of those guys that got stuck in the mining craze, I was stuck in the last mining craze. This is probably why you guys might be wondering, damn, how does Brian know about mining? Like, how are you kind of well-versed for a guy that is a gamer? How are you well-versed in the land of mining? I did, like, it's on my channel. I made videos where in 2017, 2018, I was partaking in the whole mining thing. I was going into that boom, but unbeknownst to me, I got into it and I didn't realize how much damage it was doing to the market in general. It was just crazy. Like, at the end of the day, I just don't really believe in the GPU mining side. Like with crypto, sure, there's great arguments for cryptocurrencies, but in terms of mining cryptocurrencies on a GPU, I just think there's better solutions out there. And I've said those in the past as well. There's much better solutions out there. And I think now, especially being that we're going through a global pandemic, this is the thing, we're going through this global pandemic. I think it's just, I honestly think it's pretty just terrible thing that people just can't get a gaming graphics card because they can't go outside anyway. They got to stay inside and they can't game because they can't get a graphics card, or at least they can't afford one because the prices are too high. So this is one of those things where it's just, yeah, I only just got here. What are we doing? Joe Blogs. Yeah, pretty much, man. That's exactly what we're doing, Joe Blogs, pretty much. But I'm sort of explaining the history of how I got into mining and then why I sort of quit after 2018. And I haven't really been a big advocate of mining this time around, even though this time around, like, you know, and that's how I understand all the mining stuff. And I'm able to basically compute all that into what's going to happen here with things like this. And I'm telling you now, like this, I'm not really going to complain about the pricing. The pricing's good actually on this card right here. If miners can go get ripped off for 723 bucks, that's actually an amazing thing, Joe Blogs. So I'd love to see that happen. Yeah. So, and then they can sort of leave the other cards alone. But I will say, like, when NVIDIA did that hash rating limiter, that was working. Like that was the solution right there. That was starting to work. So NVIDIA, like, there was your solution. So if you do really care about the gaming community, do what you're doing with that thing. That was working, and there was stock for gamers. So in stock, 3060, because a gamer only needs one graphics card. A lot of miners are going to buy up 5 plus, 10, 20. It's not even unusual to see even guys with their houses buy up 40. So that's a lot of graphics cards. That's 40 people who can't play games anymore. So the scale of it is that even though there's only, say, a percentage of the population, there's only 5% of miners, those 5% can literally, you times them by 20. If the average miner has 20 cards, they're pretty much doubling the demand for graphics cards. So that's how it kind of like how you see it at the moment. And if we go to AliExpress, AliExpress is crazy too. But in the meantime, there is a little solution here. Like, there's another little solution that popped up. Actually, the Yusuf, he's a video editor around here. He sort of suggested this one to us. This is the 2200G. And like, look, this is something that'll get you through $100, and you don't need to go out and buy a graphics card at the meantime. So this is a great little solution. 2200G, I mean, it's $100. I'll actually put the link after the live stream's done. This is actually good right now, like, in all fairness. So it's something that people aren't really focused on. But if you're building a new PC, just grab yourself an A320, get yourself one of these for $100, and 8 GB sticks of DDR4 memory, and you'll be having a decent time. You'll be able to play some games with your friends, and it won't send you broke. So that's probably one of the best solutions right now, considering what's going on in the US. If we look at this price right here for $100, and then we move over, say, to a 2200G on Amazon, the pricing's $185. So you can kind of see people are just like, Amazon, please, I need to get it from Amazon. And I mean, sure, it's going to take a little while to get it in shipping, but you're saving like $85 there. That's a pretty good saving. So usually Amazon comes in cheaper than AliExpress, but it looks like AliExpress has been going a little bit good on some of the prices. So again, the pandemic's here, but you can look through and sort of find some ways to circumvent it, because miners aren't going to be buying up APUs. That's the bottom line. I mean, if they do, then the profitability has really gone stupid. But I think what we're seeing now is actually a drop in profitability, especially after Linus did a dedicated video on his channel towards NiceHash. I think that will reduce the mining profitability, where he literally advertised to the world, hey, go mine cryptocurrency. So all the people currently mining would have probably seen a drop in their profitability. But I think, honestly, the end of, hopefully they bring in some of the more ASIC miners to Ethereum. And apparently there's this big change. I'm being told there's a big change coming for Ethereum that could send profits down. So make no mistake, if miners start getting nervous about their future profits, and even if they take a big hit for that, where, say, for instance, they're, I know, like, say, for instance, in Australia, maybe some parts of the US, if miners start feeling like their profitability is not so much anymore, you could start to see the graphics cards getting preemptively sold on the market at little cheaper and cheaper prices. So I do think we're at the peak of it right now. I do think right now, as I'm talking on this live stream, we're seeing the worst of this graphics card demand crisis. Because I don't think it's really like, people are saying it's a shortage. I don't think it's really a shortage as opposed to it being, I don't think it's a shortage as opposed to it being so much a demand problem. So that's what's going on now. Of course, we've got at the center of that, the world government's printing off ridiculous amounts of money. But let's go to, we'll brighten up your day a little bit, guys, with some, I guess it's better news maybe, as the 11th gen products are coming out. I mean, not that it's great news. I mean, you guys like have learned, recently I learned the hard way yet again, that none of these companies care about you. Let's not forget that. Intel, NVIDIA, and AMD, they don't care about you. They just care about your money. That's like, I got the reality shock when, for me, it was a reality shock when that was the mining algorithm, the accidental driver release, you know, and I told the local reps here, I said, look guys, I was disappointed. Like I went to bat for you guys with that video, right? I thought, hey, this is a good thing. It can help out gamers. At the end of the day, my loyalty is towards the gamer. It's towards you guys, the viewers. But I told NVIDIA, I said to the local rep here, I was like, God, man, I'm disappointed. Like, I made a video. I thought this was a good idea. And then pretty much just, you know, I'm left with a knife hanging out of my back. But anyway, we got here Joshua Hall, $2. Hey, Brian, from Wisconsin in the USA. We'll try a US accent. Thanks for the $2, brother. We'll try a US accent later on in the stream, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But we got here Intel's 11th gen lineup, and what they're promising here is the F CPUs. This is the biggest thing, and I asked Intel about this. I also asked Intel a few other things as well. So it was about sort of like early NDAs, but we'll keep that off the stream. But they said to me, look, the F series CPUs this time around are being launched on day one. And you can see here the memory support will be up to 3200 megahertz. Now I'm being told that the 3200 megahertz is on a 6-layer PCB. So it can still be on if they release a H510. I think they have released H510. Like I gotta check the motherboard thing anyway, but the 6-layer PCBs will support 3200 megahertz, and then 4-layer PCBs will support 2933. So that's why you see those two differences there in the memory to clear that up. But the F CPUs will be released on day one, which I'm looking forward to the most. Actually, being someone who, you know, if you guys see the $100 flip up challenge, you'll know that I am kind of a big advocate of the F series CPUs right now because of the value they're bringing. I mean, even if we go on Amazon here, if you can somehow magically pick up a graphics card, 270 bucks. I think honestly though, if you look at 278, this is that sort of level where I would pay an extra $8.75. I'd pay that for the iGPU. That's kind of, to me, the iGPU maxes out at around $15 to $20 premium. So being at $8, I would actually pick up the 10700F at both these prices here. I mean, sorry, the 10700, not the F, over the 10700F. But make no mistake, both these prices are extremely good, even with the 11700F around the corner. Now the Archangel, $2, 6800 gigabyte for 1199 AUD, worth it. It's right on that level, man. Like, it's right on that level. I'd say flip a coin. And it depends on how bad you want a game. Like if you've got a, say for instance, you got like an RTX 2060 or something, or you've got a, say for instance, you got a GTX 1080 right now, I'd actually just hold out. That'd be my advice. But for 1200, if you're desperate to play games, you're not getting ripped off as much as other cards that I'm seeing out there being priced. So, I mean, right now, if we look at a 3070 right now, $1,400. That's the cheapest you can get them for, 1,400 Aussie dollars. So, 1199 is not too bad. The 6800 should beat it a little bit. So, there you go. But that's what I mean. Right now, the whole graphics card lineup is all out of control because of all this just craziness happening with crypto. So, anyway. We get back quickly to here. So 11th gen now. They're releasing also the 11900F and also the 11700F. Those are the two that I'm looking at. But you're probably wondering straight away, like, you're like, oh, Brian, 8 cores, 16 threads. What is going on here? Now, I actually asked Intel directly about this. What's going on? This just looks like one of the dumbest things I've seen. But then they said there was a big difference in there. So $20 Gunga Din. Thanks for the donation, brother. You didn't ask any questions, but thank you so much for the donate. It really helps out the tech yes man doing these live streams and also keeping the content coming towards you. And we got here the biggest difference that is the gear ratio. So this here, the 11900K, and also, well, the i9s in general. The i9s are going to have a 1-to-1 gear ratio, meaning if you put your memory up to 3200 megahertz, then the clock is going to be 3200 megahertz as well. The 11700 has a gear ratio of 1-to-2. So if you have your memory speeds at 3200 megahertz, then I think it's the ring, is it the ring? Is it then 1600 megahertz? So it's half. So it's half the gear on the memory as opposed to the controller. So that's the difference between the i7 and the i9 this time around. But whether that's worth a 100, like even if we look at the Fs here, whether that's worth a $120 premium is yet to be seen. I honestly think the like if you ask me straight up looking at these before we even get into it, I've got the 11900K, but I don't have any other CPU. And I actually asked Intel if I could get the F CPUs in because I think they're going to be the value champions that I'd love to review, even over the 11900K. But I think just by looking at this, the 11400F is going to be the best value for money, easily for the game. 157 US, and I think Intel will hit around those MSRPs. And that's what we saw with the 10400F. Like that came out, and that was kind of really good value. Gunga Din, another $20. Thanks, bro. Thanks so much for another $20 donation, man. There's no question or no text this time around again. Yeah, if you got a question, brother, be sure to ask it. But we got the 10400F was coming now. It's coming under that price as opposed to us looking at the Ryzen 5 3600. Or even, the 3600 was its main competitor. That's coming in at $245. So I think there was that, you're paying a tax here, an AMD tax of like pretty much $100 because they're virtually the same CPUs in terms of gaming performance. If you want to go down to, say, the avenue of saying, all right, well, one's a little bit better at productivity, sure. One's got a better upgrade, sure. Like the upgrade path kind of gets a little bit sort of pushed out into the fray when these CPUs are much more expensive to begin with. So especially the 5900X, I heard they're like 5900X and 5950X, they're in pretty short supply. So, if you want the upgrade path, just understand that you may have to pay another like $600. Gunga has a question under his okay. He's got a question. Sorry, man. Yeah, under his donut. Okay. So what would you do with an i5 8500? Got one free from work. What would I do? I'd put it in a motherboard and make a PC and then flip it. That's what I'd do. So, and how much could you flip an i5 8500 for? Depends, right? In Australia, you could probably get around like 800, 900 for it with a decent GPU. Say, for instance, like a 1660 Super, you probably get $1,000 for that. So it's just, of course, finding the GPU that's the problem. But that's a good CPU to chuck in a sub 1,000 Aussie dollar PC. But if you're in the US, maybe I don't see now with all this crypto stuff going on, I have no idea about the US market, and I won't know about the US market until I take a trip there and I can gauge what's happened since I was last there in 2019. When I was there in 2019, it was pretty much the demand and the pricing on the PCs was pretty much relational to the purchasing power parity of the dollar. So like when I was lastly in the States, 1 AUD to 1 Aussie dollar, right? We've got about a 30% markup on our PCs. Like that was around, I think the Aussie dollar was even around the same price when I was there in the US back in 2019 for CES. That was my guide. I don't think that's the case anymore because I'm seeing RTX 3000 cards, for instance, going, if we look at a 3070, that's going for 1,500 USD. In Australia, they're going for 1,400 from the retailer. So the pricing is completely messed up right now in the US. So I can't give you an idea of how the US pricing in the market there is because I just don't know. And that's what I was saying in the previous review. I'd love to know if some of the guys out there, some of the boys like Danny from Nerd on a Budget, Zach's Tech Turf, some of those guys, what sort of they can make a market update. That's a request from me. If these guys can make a market update video telling us about the US and how it's changed over the last couple of years, just from a street perspective, buying and selling. But we got E.R.O. Thanks for the $10. Enjoying the content. Thank you, brother. I hope you are. I came off my hiatus, would it be? I had a break. Mentally, I was relaxing But now it's time to get back to it. You guys need the yes man to tell you what's going on. Well, maybe you, of course, probably don't, but I'm hoping that you do so that we can get to the real story, the real news. We're not going to live in fairyland here. We're not living in fairy tale land. We're giving you guys the street view. What can you do? And that's why we're trying to point to some options even in this live stream here today. But we got J. Von Rowe. Thanks for the $5 donation. How do I send you this Rampage 2 Extreme Mobo and others that I cannot get to post, but they all show signs of life? Also want to send you DDR3. I'll put my PO box in the description below. Even Yusuf can hook you up that PO box 546 Narang. It's on Queensland. We'll chuck that in the description for you, brother. But yeah, cheers for that. We can put that on Can Yes Fix It episode. We've actually got another Can Yes Fix It episode brewing up right now. And we got Salty Doctor 100. I don't know what is that. The currency symbol is that. I don't know the currency symbol on that one. I can just check the. Hey. To USD, is it Indian Rupee? Oh, it's Indian Rupee. Thanks for the $1, brother. Thanks for the $1.38 donut. I joined Vodafone NBN support, and I was hoping that I would get a chance to speak with you. Love all your videos. Oh, thanks, man. Is that like you joined the? Did you, because you're donating in Indian Rupee? Did you join our NBN support from India? That's like that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll give the NBN a call, and hopefully I can get to you on a support line just for a bit of a lol. We got Joe Bloggs here. I'll answer Joe Bloggs' question because what does the secondhand market for PCs look like in Australia at the moment? It's a two-speed economy. Yeah, I'd say it's a two-speed economy as well. Two-speed market right here at the moment. And it's kind of, the market is, like, I've had a lot of friends tell me that they're slowing down in PC sales. My PC sales have just remained consistently like mediocre, even mediocre at best. Mind you, when I put together an RTX 3000 series PC, that just goes off the shelves. Like I didn't even get a chance to list my 3070 PC because someone already teed it up and then sold it for me. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. I've got my profit, I'm happy with that. But yeah, the secondhand market, I'd say for around mid-range PCs is very tough right now. I did answer this question directly in more depth on the $100 flip up challenge, the latest episode. So go check that out. I do talk about this in direct, pretty much what's going on with the market right now. But Excalibur, Brian, not a single one of these corps care about you or the average consumer. Neither are one of them are ideally high value economical option. Yeah, so none of them do, man. None of them do. I know that. I just had some faith in NVIDIA. I thought NVIDIA would want to adopt the model. And I think some of these companies should start adopting the model of stop getting the short-term gains for the long-term profits. If they did the reverse, they would actually gain a lot of loyalty. And in time, people would be like, you know what? Say for instance, in a future scenario, the Intel or whatever, say for instance, Intel wins over your brand loyalty and they do the right thing by you consistently, you're gonna say, well, I'm gonna pay $10 more for the Intel CPU because I can trust them. But none of these companies have my trust, like especially, I was kind of starting to develop a little bit of trust for NVIDIA, I won't lie, but after that driver mishap, I was kind of like disappointed. Yeah, I did have some faith. I had some faith in NVIDIA. Like as a personal standpoint, I've used NVIDIA in a lot of my rigs for a long time now, and I've never had issues. It's sort of like the driver stability was really good. The DLSS 2.0, I was liking that, especially when I played Cyberpunk 2.0. But then, you know, it's kind of like, okay, maybe they've got this with the mining thing, because surely they can't really foresee. Surely they can't foresee the crypto boom and bust cycle. They can't foresee that. I mean, if anyone could foresee that, they'd be like one of the richest people on the planet if you could predict these bubbles and when they're going to come and when they're not going to come. But I think with NVIDIA, it was that I was starting to see, okay, this mining thing, I liked it. You know, other people came out and criticized NVIDIA and said this mining hash it's terrible, it's not going to work. And for what it's worth, I did see it working. It was working in the market. The market was leaving the 3060s alone versus the other cards. But then the problem came in and they provided the solution themselves. That's what frustrates me. People are like, man, this is going to get hacked. It's going to get done. People are going to hack it and it's going to be useless anyway. But I didn't see any evidence of that. And in fact, when we looked at the P106, I never saw someone properly hack that. Sure, I saw someone circumvent it for playing some games on like one driver, but the amount of effort that guy had to go through to get that driver working was probably huge, and he gave up. And you look at the P106 ongoing support right to this day, go check it out. P106 driver, let's have a look. We can do it right now on the live stream. P106 gaming driver download. Let's have a look. Yeah, like that's from 2018. Like, yeah, okay, let's go play the latest Fortnite update. Oh, I can't play it because this driver's so old. So there it is. That's all you've got there for driver support. So in terms of what they did and how they did it, I was liking it up until they provided the solution themselves and they proved the whole market right. So Mike G, see, Canadian $2, is Brian Easy coming back? I think he might be. I think it's time. Like, honestly, I've stared deep into my soul, and there are some plays that you guys are going to see in the coming months that are going to, at the end of the day, I think everyone says, you know, humans are kind of alike. And it's like, no, humans are kind of alike. And I think we've got to stay alike. Us as Tech Yes citizens, we have to keep together and start letting our voices be heard and start doing things that we need to do. But I'm starting things at the moment. I've got a big strategy in the works. Don't worry, you guys will hear about it once I'm confident that it's 100%. It's I'd call it stupid proof. Don't worry. I'm in the works on that one, so don't worry. Even Hardware Unboxed will be surprised at this next move. He won't even see it coming. And then it's got nothing to do with tech, by the way. It's got nothing to do with tech, by the way. But he was me and him. We have a good little. I like to have actually, I got to tweet at him soon. I'll actually tweet at him soon. Let's have a crack. Like, let's have an argument online on Twitter. So I got to have a crack at him, you know, and he can have a crack at me too. You guys enjoy that? Like, a lot of people tell me after me and Hardware Unboxed have a go at each other on Twitter that you guys like seeing. You guys get the popcorn out and you love watching it. So how good's that? But anyway, let's move over to some questions and Q&A for you guys, and let's go on here and let's go back to the real deal. What's going on before we close off this live stream? But if you guys have pressing concerns, then let us know in the chat, because I'm here. This ain't a premiere. This is a live stream. You guys can ask me anything. AMA time. So people are going on about Linus. Yeah, like Linus showed everyone how to mine. I mean, look, I'm not going to comment on Linus's channel and how he runs things. I just don't think it was the right move to make that video in the current climate. I mean, there's enough problems people have with having to get a GPU. They don't need Linus, like, literally piling onto the problem. So that was kind of like the thing. And I mean, hey, if he's sorted it all out on his end, if he's apologized for it, that's fine. But yeah, anyway, we've got Gaz Stanfield donation here. And that's 5 Pondo. Oh, €5. Oh, man, I always get the euro and the pound symbol confused. Thanks for the donation, brother. I was given a 6800 graphics card yesterday. Unfortunately, it was the 6800 GT, not the 6800 XT. Yeah, that was. I've got a. Man, you shouldn't say that, because now I'll probably see on Marketplace 6800 for sale, cheap, and there'll be a blurred image, and people try to be scamming people now with like 6800s, thinking. Yeah, no, they'll actually sell an old school 6800 as like a 6800. They won't say it's an RX. They'll just say it's a 60. It is, and like technically they're not lying, but that's the kind of crap you'll probably see on Marketplace soon, and especially on eBay. $2 from Mark Smith. I'm new and enjoy your content. Cheers from CT. CT? Sorry, man, I'm from Aussie. What's CT? That's a state in the US. I'm guessing because most people in the US do abbreviate their. Connecticut. Okay, I got you. Connecticut. So from Connecticut. Thanks, man. So, how's Menu Log? So we got Corey Designs by IFR. How's Menu Log treating you? Actually, pretty good, man. Like, you got to come up to the Gold Coast. So next time I've got to get Corey up to the Gold Coast, and we'll do a custom build. Connecticut. Look, we'll go to a US Connecticut. Was that right? Did I get it? Connecticut. Now, this is where you're at, this part of the stream where it just starts to degrade so quickly, and we just go so off topic that now we're talking about Menu Log and what else? Getting delivery like a G. They need to make you know what they need to do? They need to make an app for getting graphics cards in stock and delivering them to your door, just not with the scalper. I mean, if they can do that, then maybe they can get in with the retailer and they can make a $50 cut each, and they're still saving money versus a scalper. They can call it like, maybe they can call it something like easy scalp, except the scalping is capped at like 10%. I'm pretty sure people would be happy with that. Jaden Ori, $10 donation. Thank you, man. Your content has helped me grow from a NEET. Isn't that like someone who stays home? NEET, N-E-E-T. I have read that, to running a 5-figure PC flip and LLC, though still from her mum's basement. Oh, it's she too. Thanks, Jade. I'm now paying state and city taxes. Do you do the same? If so, any tips? So yeah, like 5 figures is awesome. Congratulations. And thanks for the donation too. But the flipping thing, I was going to make a series on just how to show people how to flip some PCs, like getting their first $100 and making a cheap PC to flip and getting into the world of tinkering hardware. I think it's a great hobby. And it sounds like from just the way you've worded the text is you're having a lot of fun. And I do the same as well. Like I do flip PCs, and it's no joke. It's like easy. You guys would know I do over 5 figures in flipping PCs every year. In terms of tips, I would say always try to network with people, get deals. Like people are going to like you. You know what I mean? If you're energetic and you're positive and you speak to people, they're just going to like you. And if people like you, they're going to want to sell to you versus someone else. Say, for instance, you got 2 people, because this is what I would do. If I liked someone, I'm going to hook them up a deal, as opposed to someone I don't like. I'm not going to want to deal with them. And that's the simple thing. That's the reality of the world. You won't hear this in a business and economics class because they don't teach you this thing. They think the world works off, oh, here's the paper, you've got to stick to the pen and paper. It's not like that. The world works in a much different way. If someone doesn't like you, they're just not going to want to deal with you, period. And you're not going to get a deal at all. So learn to just, I'd say you're doing a great job of it. I mean, I love reading your text. So I'd say try and network with, go down to a recycle yard, try and get to know the people there and just say, hey, I'm looking to buy some cheap PC parts and recycle them. And they'll probably say, hey, we've got this for you, we've got that for you. And then from there, sky's the limits. Don't be afraid to just go out there and just talk to, I mean, do it during the day, like, and do take precautions. Don't just go like YOLO into some dodgy neighborhood, because I heard in the US there are some dodgy neighborhoods out there, but like get to know sort of the people that do well, and then you'll network, and then sky's the limits from there. So we got Mike G with a Canadian $5. Canadian. I think I'm working on my Canadian. No wait, that was bad. That was bad. Look, we'll get on to the US. I can't do the difference between Canadian and US accent. I really cannot distinguish the difference. I think I was starting to get my US accent on point, but we got the question. Would be cool to see a custom build with Dadman. We need more Dadman. Okay, Corey, Designs by R5. If you're still out there, you come up here and you're building a PC for Dadman. Now, the thing about this PC for Dadman is going to have a Celeron. It's going to have a GT 1010, and it's going to be liquid cool, like the best looking PC we've done, but it's going to have the crappiest parts. We'll at least give him 16 gig of RAM too, if he's gold lotto numbers, like, and stuff like that. He might have a couple applications. Yeah, Facebook scrolling. Dadman's like, he's glued to Facebook. He likes watching all those, like, he's like, Brian, take a look at this. There's aliens. There's aliens. And I'm like, what? No, it's like a photoshopped video, Dadman. He's like, oh, really? Like, it's so, and you're wondering why those videos get so many views. It's because, like, gullible people like Dadman are watching them. But we got a Easy Monster 84. Brian, I'm 100% blaming you for me mining on my 3090. Damn it, I didn't want to cop the blame, but thanks for the $199 profit that you made from mining on that. I mean, I'll take the profit. Dollar's a dollar. It doesn't care about your feelings, right? So that's one thing with the dollar, yeah. Sad reality, money versus people. People do care about your feelings, money don't. Just never forget that. But thanks for the donation, man. But if you got a 3090, I mean, yeah, just everyone, like, I guess the message that Linus wanted to say, one thing that, I don't know if Linus addressed this, speaking of Linus, there he is there, he's like his little videos popping up on live stream. One thing that I'd like to see him address is that, hey, if everybody piles on this mining gig, if everyone with a gaming PC worldwide started using their PCs to mine, it would drop the profitability, and then that would hopefully deter the miners from buying more graphics cards. There actually is some genius in there to getting people to mine and more of the average public to mine with what they've got already, even though it'd probably overload power grids. But there's something in there that if you drop mining profitability, you can deter people from buying more graphics cards. So anyway, we'll just leave that one out there because it's a whole can of worms, and I wouldn't even know how, the problems it could cause as well just wouldn't be worth it. I think you could overload power grids and stuff like that, and where I think there's already countries that have had power problems with cryptocurrency mining. Jeremy, $2 dono. What's the difference between X58 and X79 instruction sets? So X79 got the AVX instruction sets introduced. That's the OG ones. They also got, of course, the better power efficient CPUs. The CPUs themselves did take away from the North Bridge, which X58 had, and then they went into lowering the clock speeds to, I think it was either 800 megahertz or 1200, maybe 800 on the desktop variant and then 1200 on the X79 variant, but they went and changed things up. And overall X79 got quad channel memory as well, and you also got true native USB 3 and you got true SATA 3 built onto the motherboards, I think. And I think Sandy Bridge EP, no, was it EP? Sandy Bridge EP, maybe Ivy Bridge EP, got PCIe Gen 3 as well. So they're all the differences I can think of. If I did miss any, maybe some people in the comments will put a bit more in there for you, but they're the main differences off the top of my head that I can think of. Jeremy, another $2. I want to mine Ether, but don't know how to. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the guy to teach you how to mine. I mean, we're not going there. So I'm not going there, man. If you want to know how to mine Ether, there's probably plenty of guides out there on Google. Anyway, guys, we're going to get over some final questions and more content when, more dual socket SR2 perhaps. If you guys have any requests, we'll then be sure to do them. But we're going to go into X58 content. I was going to go more along the lines of real just $100 PC content. I want to make some real good bangers that people can go and sort of say, hey, this is a lot of fun. I want to do this. It's something different. Just got to take my mind off of the overpriced graphics cards. And $100 PCs, that's going to be my new thing going into the next couple of months. I'm going to do a $100 PC here, $100 PC there. Everybody is going to be a winner at Tech Yes City. That's if you build a $100 PC. So, all right. So, will there ever be an AM4 Plus platform? Why they just make AM5 when DDR5 comes around? They'll probably just make AM5. So that'll pretty much be it. Do you really believe everyone in Australia is upside down? That's a crazy way of thinking of what is actually upside down or not. See, now if we want to go to the universe, which part of the universe is upside down? The universe is just this continuously expanding thing. So we could be downside up. We could be anywhere we want. We could be east meets west versus west meets east. Which way do we want it? Which way are we in Australia? Mike G, Canadian $5. Do you still have any of the clothes from that business? Still just curious. Yeah, look, I never got around. So basically we're talking about this video where me and Dadman went and swapped a PC for a whole clothing business, all these buckets of clothes. There was actually a lot of clothes in that thing. Since then, I've been honestly with YouTube, I've been super busy just with YouTube. And then in my free time, I kind of just want to game a bit, relax, and then just live life a little bit. And I was looking at this, I'm like, oh man, am I ever going to get onto selling these clothes? Probably not. So I just, over time, I started using the clothes myself. I gave a heap to Dadman, and gave a heap to all my mates. That thing got raided by a lot of my friends. They're like, yo, can I get a free shirt? Yo, that shirt looks good. Could I have that? And I'm like, sure, you get a good deal. You're sharing the spoils kind of thing. So just you guys, actually this stream, you guys are definitely sharing in the spoils and sharing with the love, with the donations. They keep coming in. Jeremy with the $5. Thank you for the information. Last question. LGA 2011R and 2011R2 compatible and backward compatible? Do they use different gen processors? Revision 2 and revision 1 should be the same. You're talking about the Ivy Bridge release versus the Sandy Bridge. You should be able to use the Sandy Bridge in the R2, but you might have to update your BIOS for R1 to use Ivy Bridge. Also, but basically, before we close off with the clothing business, yeah, I've still got a heap of clothes here. If you guys are on the coast and you want some freshly steezed clothes, then do let us know. That was the name of the business I took. Freshly steezed, so we can keep it running. Gunga Din, is Corey a MUFC supporter? I thought I saw those letters on his shorts while building your PC. Yeah, he's a bit into UFC. I'm pretty sure he's into UFC, so he likes all that, and he did have some clothes there. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, Corey, just come into the comments and answer the man's question. Okay, Easy Monster 84, $4.99 with some more that was more crypto mined money. Wait, yep. I paid a scalper $1,700 for the 3090. I got ripped off. I wanted to play Fallout 76 at 4K, then it crashed on the PC, so I bought a Series S on my C9. Cheers. Okay, that's an interesting story. Are you? So wait, wait. I'm trying to figure. So you got ripped off. Hold on. Let's have a look here. You got ripped off. I love it how we're starting to use ripped off as just a casual term. That's what's going on. Like, make no mistake. People are getting ripped off everywhere. He got ripped off for a 3090, and then he played Fallout 76 on the C9. Are you still playing on the 3090? Or you just hocked that into the wild again and then ripped someone else off? Let us know in the chat. But look, the Series X and the Series S are good value propositions. You can pick them up for really cheap right now. And so we'll go to K-Pack, and he's donated $5. Do your best price to performance Xeons with 3 different Xeons for comparison. Yeah, so one thing I've got with the Xeons is I always keep them. I keep the X58 Rampage motherboard that I got for free. It had broken water block heatsinks. I just took all the heatsinks off, got it working again. We got X79 motherboard. I picked that out of a dumpster. I'm now in negotiation. I want to get an X99 board, and I do want to get the best of X99. The problem with X99 is that it's actually kind of in demand, especially those motherboards that can overclock, like the old school Asus and stuff. They're really in demand. So the X79, X58, I've definitely got them on hand. I'd love to do some comparisons. If you guys want to see some comparisons between the X99 Xeons versus the other stuff, let us know which X99 Xeon, because I can make that happen. But it's just mainly the motherboards. We're having a bit of trouble. And we got here another, well, you guys bringing in some mad donations coming out of this stream. Red Panzer with Aussie 10. Thanks for the Aussie, man. Hey, Brian, do you have any funny stories from PC selling, like fans trying to haggle by referencing your videos? I saw your video. You built this PC for $50 and selling for $300. Yeah, I have had some people know what I build them for and then try to say, look, I want it at cost price. And I'm like, bro, I'm not doing it at cost price. Like, that's work, you know what I mean? Me cleaning all the stuff up, putting it together, or getting the deals. And that's the one thing. If you're getting the deals, like if you're getting an RTX 3070 for $1,000 in a climate, in a market where it's $1,500 and people are buying it for $1,500, and it's still got the warranty certificate with it, it's 1 month out of warranty, you've technically made $500. Why, like, you don't have to pass that on to anyone. That was your hustle. You were pressing the F5 button quicker than someone else. You got in with the deal. Like, that's kind of like the rules. I love the PC flipping industry. There's rules here, man. There's rules. And you get the deals and you go in. You go hard. And that's what it's all about. It's competitive. Like, you got to be competitive, man. So I do get people, like, they do come in, and I do them a discount. I do them a discount. If they watch the Tech Yes content, I shave off some money off the price, that's for sure. But I have had a lot of people haggling in terms of, yeah, trying to like literally get it at cost. And I'm like, come on, man, like I've got to make a little bit for my troubles. But then they're like hard pressed. And I'm like, bro, like I've just sold this to someone else and got some profit. So you just got to, like, you are going to get people that will hound you and haggle you. So don't be afraid to block some people if they're being really rude. But in terms of most people, like most people do send us a lot of messages and they show us the love. That outweighs the bad stories by a lot more than the, then there's also, you also get the haters as well. They'll come once in a while and make some joke. Like I think someone made a joke about me selling the PC for a couple of cheeseburgers. And they're the ones that you get every now and then. You got to ignore those ones. But then we've also got here the $50 donation. So no question, take Dadman out to eat. No need to put it in a video or anything. Cheers, mate. Matthew Lang, thanks for the $50. Dadman will enjoy a 6-pack, and we'll probably take him out and get him some Thai. There's this Thai place down the road that does a really good, what's that? Mung Bang Curry. Mung Bang Curry. It's hard to pronounce, but it's really good. It's got potato, onion, chicken, and it's a bit spicy. That's my favorite, one of my favorite Thai curries. We got here Adam Schmidt with a $5. Glad to hear the $100 flips are coming back. And yep, they're coming back in full force. Then we got Easy Monster 84, $1.99 again. 3090 is mining. Decided to play 76 on the Series S. Oh man, with this mining stuff, like I'm guessing some of you guys are literally just like live donating your profits from mining while I'm mining. So like you're giving me free donations while I'm live streaming from your mining profits. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Easy Monster. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's kind of not cool. Like let's try and keep this crypto world so people who need some gaming graphics cards and are bored out of their brains can actually buy one. That's the ultimate plan. Any plans to go back to Japan after COVID restrictions ease up from Kogo? My man, that is like on my mind every day. I'm itching to go to Japan. That's like kind of part of why I was kind of like not making as much content in the last couple of months was because I was a little bit like, I just want to see my boy, man. I want to go to Japan. I love it. Like, I just want to travel a little bit. And, you know, something like, especially the my boy part, that's the biggest part, is that I really want to go to Japan and see my boy. And that's like, it's eating me. You know, it's eating him, and it's just like, it's a crap situation. And so that's, yeah, I'm dying to get back to Japan and really do something. So thanks for the question, man. And yeah, but Japan, that's the first thing on the list, man. That's the first thing. So, and greetings from Australia, from a sleepless guy in Austria. Hey, man, I love Austria. Austria is awesome. So we're going to close out this stream a little bit. And thanks for tuning in, y'all. We'll take a couple more questions, just a couple more before we get on out of here. And we got Vass Rules. Does his son live in Japan? Yep, he does. He does. My little man is, man, he's turning 9 this year. So he's turning 9 in a couple of months. So crazy how time flies. Anyway, 40 Vega Fortniters. Don't know what we're referring to here. Anyway, guys, we're going to close out this live stream. But before we close it out, we will go to the US accent. And we'll say, hey, guys, RC Rhino, he looks like he got the RX 6700 XT power color for a reference of $709 at PC Case Gear, and it was in stock for about 10 minutes. Wow, dude, you hit that up very quick. That was good to see that they actually had some stock. I was told it was only a handful of stock that these guys actually had, and yeah, that's pretty good. I'm glad you got one. I'm glad someone tuned into the live stream got the 709 Aussie dollar. RX 6700 XT. Anyway, all right, guys, we are going. And before we get on out of here, I know you guys are dying to see this fella. Here's the Jar Jar mug. I got the green tea, and Jar Jar and Misha are gonna tune out right now. And we'll catch you in another tech video very soon. But thanks for tuning into the live stream, and please shout out as your longtime subscriber, Raceliner, guys. There is shout out, Raceliner. Go check him out, and we're gonna get on out of here, and we'll catch you in another tech video very soon. We got the 6700 XT review coming. Ready, cut it. So stay tuned for that, the reference model. But yeah, it's pretty much, we went in depth on this live stream, but it's all good. Peace out for now. PBB. Oh, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Show the love. Drop a comment as well after this is done. Peace out for now. Bye.